Just wanted to make a quick video because I felt God speaking to me prophetically in a way, and I didn't want to forget what it was, so I thought I'd just record this to keep a note so I don't forget. A few years ago I went for a walk. I used to go by this fishing lake with all these trees around it. The Lord reminded me of this time when I went, when it was just so full of blossom. The wind was blowing and this blossom was falling, and it was just so beautiful. And the only way I can describe it was like it was snow falling. It was like I was in a snowstorm. I never experienced anything like that before. It was quite a beautiful moment, and it felt, I could feel God's presence there with me at the time, and it just felt like a really peaceful, holy place to be. And the Lord just reminded me of that and brought me back to that place. And I was just sort of going through it in my head and remembered that as I was walking, I turned around to look at the dirt path that was behind me, and it was all covered over. It was all white. Everything that this blossom touched just transformed into pure whiteness. And just reminded that it doesn't matter where we've been, where we've come from, what's happened, it's all covered over now, it's all dealt with, it's all sorted. And just this blossom was just falling really thick, really heavy, just this like blessing from heaven, and it landed in the lake. It was so thick that it was covering the surface of the lake, and the fish were coming up and eating it, and that it was food to them. I was just thinking about this sort of isolation situation at the moment, and thinking about how after a fire sometimes the land can be more rich and more fertile and more prepared and ready for growth afterwards. I'm just praying that this corona might feel like a fire, but that people's hearts will be more ready to be open and more rich and fertile for growth, because people have been sat at home, they've been isolated, they've had a chance to think about what life's about, the things that they would have held on to, like their job, the people that they know, finances. All of those things might have been stripped away at the moment, and people, I think, are questioning big things. And I'm just really praying into that the ground of their hearts will be rich and fertile and ready to receive. And just like those fish that came up out of the water to eat that blossom, that they'll be hungry and they'll be ready. And I think there's almost something in that for us as a church, that we need to be ready for what comes next. That if people are hungry, and there is that sense of people have realised there's more to life than all this material stuff, that we need to be ready for this growth and to facilitate people's hunger and to feed them. And I just really felt like there was something in that, so I wanted to make a note of it. And I remember also, as I was walking around this field, I went to the edge of the fences, like the boundary of the field, and I looked out into the next field, and it surprised me that the blossom was also flowing across the next field. And just that we shouldn't box ourselves in or box God into what we think is possible. We shouldn't limit our expectations by the four walls of the fences of that field that I was in. Just be ready for our expectations to be exceeded, and ready for to maybe be more growth than maybe what it feels like we're capable for at the moment, beyond those boundaries. And it just got me really excited. I remember I actually went back to that field again recently just to pray it through again, and just asking the Lord on the way, just really emotional and in tears. I think He just really gave me a heart for the city and for the people, and I was just asking Him more about this picture and about this blossom and what happened, and it just got me really excited, actually. Although there can be a lot of fear and a lot of pessimism and a lot of negativity in the media, I think there can be a real potential for something amazing to happen after this has all passed. And that, even though it might not have been God that initiated Corona, He has the final say, and He can turn it all for good. And I really believe that, and it's just really put a lot of faith in me to pray for this city. And when I went back there again recently to walk around, I ended up walking around it actually 7 times, thinking about when Joshua walked around Jericho and the walls fell down, and just praying that the walls of people's hearts will fall down, and that people will be open to hearing the truth and the gospel of Jesus. And yeah, just that the walls of this city will fall as well, and that this blessing, this blossom that fell, can just cover the city. I think sometimes God does things in the physical to mirror what he's doing in the spiritual, so I'm just really praying for this blessing to fall like this white blossom that just touches and covers everything, and that it will grab people's hearts and that they'll become hungry. So I just wanted to make a note of this for myself so that I didn't forget, and maybe I'll pass it on as an encouragement. But yeah, that we needn't be afraid, that I'm just really got a lot of faith and expectation for what comes next. So yeah, be blessed.